Don't you love it when the universe reminds you about an important message? Hi, it's Martin, and I'd love to share with you very quickly a conversation I had with a friend over the weekend. And they wanted to speak to me because they thought what they'd been doing recently was a good reflection of what I've been sharing out there in the world this past month. And so, and again, I'm not going to give away all their details and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to embarrass them like that. But it's fair to say they've been going through a tough time professionally right now. It's a really, really tough time. And as part of this and trying to move forward and figure things out, they have been doing some reflection. Now, this is somebody who's in a leadership role and they're a great leader. They are a great leader. And they're always looking at here and moving forward, right? Really good thing to do. But what they recognized is they don't usually do a lot of reflecting back. And so what they wanted to do was reflect back and see if there was any patterns, any trends, anything they could learn from their previous experience that could help them right now in this really tough spot. And this is somebody who's had basically a couple of careers, but they've moved up the ranks in both of those careers and done exceedingly well. So they reflected back and they discovered, and I just love, you just couldn't make this up, right? It's perfect. They discovered that when they were, because I know they've gone through an awful lot of tough times in their career, as we all do, right? Ups and downs. They said when they've been going through challenging times, but they've had the confidence to really get through those, and they come out the other side really positive, really full of energy, really full of gratitude in those times. And then the times when they've really been going up, really like powering through, when it's like what, that confidence, and you're just like marching forward. They said whenever that kind of stuff was happening, they always had somebody by their side. They always had somebody that they were regularly talking it through with. Everything that was going on in their head and the craziness of the world, the busyness of the world, they had somebody that they were sharing it with. Now, really importantly, not their partner. They do share that. I know their partner very well, and I mean, they're like me. You do anything for your partner, and yeah, we're there, and we'll listen, and we'll support, and we'll be compassionate and empathetic, and all of that, right? So they've got an incredible partner. But the important thing they recognized was that that's wonderful, but if you're just having the same conversations going around in your head during work, then after work, and with your partner, that relationship, that energy that you have with your partner is kind of at risk. It just brings the energy down. You kind of share the burden, but you're sharing that pain because the other person just desperately wants to help and wants you out of that situation. And it just felt like whenever they were talking, it was about that. So the important thing is that this person, that these other people that they had identified, and there was 2 in their previous career, strangely enough, and 2 in their latest career. 2 people that were outside of all of that, and they could share, and they trusted them. Really important, they trusted them. And what that allowed them to do was to navigate the professional stuff that was going on, but also allowed their home life to be far better because they weren't constantly talking about all this stuff. They were able to be the playful, joyful, romantic, intimate couple that they wanted to be. Really important observation, a theme. And so I asked, well, I know that you've been through an awful lot of tough times, so what happened when those people weren't around? Because by definition, you're saying, when this happened and they were around, it felt better. It's like, well, I felt very alone. I felt very isolated. And I know things took me longer to get through, and I might get there in the end. Or what they identified was for a certain period of time, if it went on for too long, and they even identified the actual time period, I'm talking 6 months, They said if it goes on that long without support, without somebody where they can really get that help, get that guidance, regularly talking it through, even if sometimes it's just getting stuff out of your head. They said somebody wasn't around, they felt really bad, they knew it was really slow, they knew it was even more difficult, they knew that they were trying to do it all by themselves, taking it all on, lots of trial and error, lots of pain and suffering, and ultimately their health suffered, and they've had various fluctuations with their health, and they identified that when they were felt like they were left all on their own trying to figure it out by themselves, within a 6-month period they would then start feeling it in their health. I said, well, that is incredibly insightful, right? So I said, well, what about now? Because I know you're having a really tough time at the moment. So who's in your life right now, other than your amazing partner? Who's in your life helping you with this? And they said, nobody. They said there was nobody out there that they could trust. And they're talking professionally within their kind of professional network at the moment. There's nobody. So I've been doing this by myself and trying to figure out all these challenges. And with this conversation, they reeled off the 101 things that were on their mind, and it's way too much for one person to deal with, and especially when the business is trying to make you do them by last Friday all at once. It's like, it doesn't work like that, and we know that, right? We've had those kinds of conversations. And this is the situation they're in, but they don't feel like they've got that support. Now, I know you're thinking, well, Martin, you want to support them. Well, and I do, and I'm obviously there, but not in that professional capacity. This is a friend. It's awkward like that. I am always going to be there, absolutely supportive. So I asked them, though, so what are you going to do? And they said, well, I now know I need to go and find somebody. And funny enough, I have some suggestions. They're going to go off and find that person that they can offload all of this to, so they feel better professionally and also personally, but also their health stops suffering. So it's really, really insightful to look back and look at the patterns. And life is full of patterns. And sometimes we might get caught up in all the business of life, and stuff happens, and there might be restructures and all that kind of stuff. And we don't do the stuff that used to serve us. We get caught up in all the busyness. So it's really good to reflect and go, well, what used to work? And for my friend, it was like having that person. And they've had people in their life in the past that could professionally help them. They don't have one now, and they're really suffering. And I don't want them to suffer, and they're not going to, because they're going to go and get that support. Here's also the interesting thing that I asked them. I said, so these people, did you call them your coach? And they said, no. I said, well, did you call them your mentor? And they said, no. I said, well, did you call them your trainer? And they said, no. I said, well, in your view then, what did you call them? What was that relationship? And he said, well, it's just the people that I would regularly talk to. They were always there, and they were there for me, and they would help me and support me. And the 3 words they used to describe their support was guidance, reassurance, and perspective. Guidance, reassurance, and perspective. And they identified that this is what these people gave them and helped them with, and that is what helped them navigate, like I said, the tough moments, but also helped them then propel forward as well. What an incredibly insightful reflection. I'm so glad they shared, and it's a massive thank you from me. Again, I'm not going to embarrass them, but thank you for sharing that. And I know that you're going to go on, and you're going to crush it. You're going to get through this really difficult time, and there are great things, great opportunities ahead. I wanted to share this with everybody else because, like I said, don't you love it when the universe kind of approaches and says, this is an important message? Because this is the kind of thing I've been talking about all month. to have that person that you can trust, that you can talk it through with, that's going to help you navigate whatever it is you're going through professionally, personally, but then can take the burden off your family so that you can have better relationships with them. So you're not always switched on thinking this stuff through and talking this stuff through with them as well. And I've said, haven't I? You might not be looking for a coach or a mentor, but maybe it's the thing you need. But I've also not been precious about the language. You can call me whatever the heck you want. Coach, mentor, trainer, guy in the chair, the person you meet up regularly that helps keep you on track, that helps give you that guidance, that reassurance, that perspective. It doesn't matter. What's important is, are you getting the support that you need so that you can move forward, that you can get through whatever is holding you back right now? And you can start getting back to living your best life, being the best version of you. For you professionally, you as a partner, you as a parent. Really powerful message. And you know what I'm going to encourage you to do? I'm going to encourage you to do that exercise that my friend did. Go and spend some time reflecting. Go and reflect on your career. Go and reflect on what's happened over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And what are the patterns? When you've got through the tough times in a positive way, when you've been really going for it and climbing that ladder and you've achieved amazing things, has there been somebody by your side? And then when things have felt a little tougher for a little longer, have you maybe not had somebody by your side? Go and do that exercise and then bring it to right now. Because if you are one of these senior leaders, middle managers, business owners that I help, or indeed anybody, right? If you're anybody that right now is struggling, and you reflect and you go, oh, I did get some kind of support. What are you going to do about it right now? Maybe that's the light bulb moment that you need, like my friends got. And now they're going to go off and go and get somebody that they can trust, that's got that lived experience that they need right now, and they're going to help them. Do the exercise and see what you find that's true for you and who's helped you. And it may well be that those people could still help you today. Or maybe you need someone new. Whatever it is, it's going to be worth your time just doing that reflection. Hope this has helped. Really passionate about this, and I love the message from the universe, and thank you again for my friend for having that conversation with me. Do the exercise, and until next time, speak soon.